So I'll be honest, I'm a bit of a degenerate. I have 2 level 40 characters in Season of Discovery right now. I leveled a mage first and then my priest. While the mage is fun, I have to say Shadow Priest surprised the hell out of me. Once you hit 40 and your spells become enabled by Shadow Form, you turn into a monster in both PvE and PvP. So let's talk about what Shadow is going on at 40 and why it is just so good right now. First, let's talk about PvE. Shadow doesn't have the best damage. It's good, but definitely not at the top. But it does feel really good to play. Mind Spike increasing the crit chance of Mind Blast by up to 90% makes Mind Blast feel extremely rewarding. The additions of Dispersion, Shadow Fiend, and 50% reduced mana cost of Shadow spells in Shadow Form make mana almost a non-issue. The insane healing from VE even lets you top the healing meters in gnomeregan. I haven't mentioned the craziness that is pressing Shadow or Death, and I'll talk about that in PvP in a bit, but Shadow has a lot going for it that really excites me. First off, in gnomeregan, your damage is really good and your healing is really good. Shadow plays a unique role similar to Arcane Mage where you heal through your damage. Now your healing isn't as targeted as a mage's, but it does allow you to passively keep the group alive, especially during intense AoE raid damage. This is incredibly useful and could be the reason why Shadow Priest could be a meta class in PvE in the future. Now let's talk about the specific interactions happening that have allowed Shadow Priest to scale this well at level 40. First of all, through talents you gain 40% shadow damage. This is insane because we get 15% from Shadow Weaving, 10% from Darkness, and another 15% from Shadow Form. We also got a filler rune in Mind Spike that replaces Mind Flay. Mind Flay is a fun spell and it is iconic to the Shadow Priest, but it just doesn't deal a lot of damage, especially at level 25 or level 40. Mind Spike is a rune, which means it scales with every level, so it's always relevant and it's always dealing good damage. That makes it really exciting to press because not only is it good damage, but it also buffs our Mind Blast. After 3 casts of Mind Spike, our Mind Blast has an additional 90% chance to crit. And Mind Blast hits hard because we got a new rank at level 40. So that combination is a lot of fun. And especially if you're taking advantage of Vampiric Embrace and healing. If you do 3 Mind Spikes into a Mind Blast followed by a Shadow or Death, you can almost top your entire party from Vampiric Embrace healing. This is incredibly strong, and if it's timed correctly by the priest, can do a ton of healing in a matter of 3 seconds to your entire party. Shadow Priest also has Mind Seer for some really good AoE. They're not a mage, but their AoE is really strong. Mind Seer is actually a really cool ability, not just for its damage. First of all, any killing blow from Mind Seer can proc Spirit Tap. This increases the priest's spirit by 100 and allows 50% of their mana regen to happen while casting. This coupled with all the other mana regen effects makes Shadow Priest extremely good, especially on a lot of trash or bosses with a lot of ads on it. And if in that trash pack, you put Vampiric Embrace on a target, and then cast Mind Seer on another target, your Mind Seer will hit the target with the Vampiric Embrace and heal your party. This is a really good way to heal your party in dungeons and in raid on these large AoE packs where you're not single targeting a single mob, but you're Mind Searing and still doing decent healing for your group. Now, Shadow Word Pain isn't the strongest spell we have. We actually only got a new rank at 34 or 36, I actually forget, but I'll put it on the screen so that you know. But we have a rune called Shared Pain that allows Shadow Word Pain to spread to 2 other targets when you cast it on one, meaning it hits 3 targets every time you cast it. This is really good because Shadow Word Pain can proc Blackout, which is a talent that allows your shadow spells to stun any target. Now this doesn't matter too much in PvE, but is really good in PvP to just randomly be able to stun enemies that you're fighting, especially in Stranglethorn Vale, where Shared Pain is an extremely good rune because there's so many people running around. Now let's talk about PvP. I'm not much of a PvPer, but it has been an insane time in Stranglethorn Vale so far. There's no getting around it. Shadow or Death hits like a monster truck in a china shop. Normal hits are around 900 to 1k, and crits are 1300 to 1500. I can bring enemies down to 0 from around 40 to 45% once every 12 seconds for only 54 mana. Now, is this broken? It depends. There is a drawback to Shadow or Death where the priest will take 50% damage as backlash if the target doesn't die. But should an instant cast be this strong and cost this little mana? Well, Star Surge has recently been nerfed for druids, so I could see Blizz tuning Shadow Word Death in the future as well. The thing that Blizz is starting to figure out is that our damage has scaled so much, but our HP pools haven't. With more HP, Shadow Word Death would kill you from maybe 30% HP instead of 45%, which is much fairer in my opinion. Either way, it is an extremely fun button to press, and I'm going to take full advantage of it before it potentially gets nerfed. A well-played Shadow Priest brings so much more to the table than any other damage dealer. They do damage, they heal, they don't take a lot of damage because of dispersion and reduced physical damage from Shadow form. They have near infinite mana, and all of these things make Shadow extremely good in any raid comp. Shadow has a lot going on for it in Phase 2 of Season of Discovery, which makes me extremely excited for the future. I think Blizz has done a great job of making casters relevant at level 40, and I hope they continue to keep it up. I will continue making Shadow Priest content, so make sure to subscribe if you want to stay up to date with that. Anyway, thanks for listening. My name's Pantsface, and I'll see you in the next one.